All right, here we are, episode 16. My name is.
Sheesh.
Yeah, can you believe we're kind of, I mean, it's one of those things. It's like I can't believe we're 16 in, but at the same time, it's been almost a year.
Yeah,
So
because
it's like it's really like we're only 16 in.
We're all over the place, but it's like
Yeah.
it's been a year almost of us doing it, so it's fucking crazy. But
Yeah,
time
man.
is flying.
Yeah, man. But as usual, I'm Jake with Longleaf Reptilia.
I'm Sky of Hail the Scales. This is Flippin' fucking Tin, bitch. All right, we got to work on the timing.
Yeah, you got to work on that. I wasn't expecting the whole extra part there.
Hey, I got a little excited. I'm not gonna lie. Just knowing you're finna crack a tinny with me, bro.
Yeah, every week, brother. Jack said tardiness will not be accepted. My friend, it was 8 o'clock on the freaking dot. Okay?
We are never.
What do you think this is? Snakes and Stogies?
Yeah. Start at 8:10.
8 o'clock every time, brother.
Daily bird.
But appreciate everybody already in the chat. Hunter, Jack, Joshua, Robert. Jack, it was not 8:01. It was 8
You tuned in at 8:01. Okay, I have receipts. My ass.
I have receipts.
It's funny because Jack Oliver in the comments, your first comment says at 8 o'clock on the dot. So how is that possible, silly goose?
Yeah, bucko. If I sound different on this episode, StreamYard is having an aneurysm and won't let me change over to my microphone.
That's not the real reason. Don't lie to the people. Tell them what really happened to you and why you're different. No.
News to me. I don't Yeah, see, Jack said shit. See? You try to get one over on us. You're not gonna.
Throw out another.
And by the way, Jack, I don't want to hear anything from you. You're hardly ever here live. So
yeah. He said you became a man this weekend. That's why you sound different.
No,
bro.
I made Jack a man this weekend. Let's be real.
Whoa. Settle down, Parker. This is a PG-13 rated show.
That PG-13 was out the window. Episode 1, my guy. That was no. Wait, you're on the other end of this podcast. Yeah. There ain't no PG-13 about this.
You're right. 10-4 on that.
That's right.
10-4 on that.
But yeah. So this weekend, before we get into the writings, I did do a little bit of herping with Mr. Jack Oliver and Smitty and Gabe. So that was cool. Got some pretty cool finds. I'm not going to show. I might get into them a little bit later. But this is one of my favorites. We're just going to pull up a little picture here. This picture is actually the one Jack took, but I edited it for him because he didn't know how to do it. Look at that little guy.
Dude, so epic finding a baby.
Why is it so blurry? I don't know why it's blurry. Hold on.
It doesn't look horribly blurry on my end.
It looked blurry on mine. I don't know. But yeah, we found a baby gopher tortoise, which was a lifer. It was a South Carolina lifer for all of us because everybody there was from South Carolina. Me, Gabe, Jack, and Smitty. So this was a South Carolina state list for all of us. So that was super cool. Little tiny guy. So
how did you guys find that thing? Was it on the crawl or did you guys find it?
Yeah, it was just sitting. It was just sitting. Gabe saw it. He was like, dude, there's a little gopher tortoise here. I was like, no shit.
Kidding. Like just tucked in, or was it just chilling?
No, it was sitting there exactly like that.
Oh, no shit. That's NC too. Okay.
Yeah, exactly how it was. Obviously, we didn't touch it. Like, there ain't no touching no gopher tortoises. So.
Yeah. I mean, I saw the picture of you guys playing hot potato with it, so.
That is not true.
Oh, fuck. Gabe said,
yeah, Gabe was way too calm about it. He's like, oh, there's a gopher tortoise. I'm like,
freaking
what?
It's Gabe, bro. He lives in a national forest.
Yeah, dude. But he also has never seen a gopher tortoise.
Oh, wow.
In state. So, that's why I was like, what the fuck?
I'm gonna shut up then. My bad.
Yeah, shut your fucking mouth.
Yes, sir.
Idiot. I'm just kidding. And then the other one I'll show right away because this picture's awesome. Jack stumbled upon himself a corn snake as well.
On the move, or
yeah.
Damn, that thing is stunning.
But yeah.
Those freaking reds actually look like little strawberries on its back, bro. That's sick.
Yeah, dude. Look at that.
That's fucking awesome.
That's money.
Is that your cursor? Oh yeah, it is.
I apologize. My dog's freaking out.
Tell that dog to shut its mouth.
You shut your mouth. Ollie. Shut up.
Ollie, it's your Uncle Skyler. What's up, bud? Now, what kind of habitat did you guys cruise that thing up in?
So we found those in some longleaf savannas over in my area, which was cool. We spent a lot of time there. It was funny. We found those pretty much like right off the rip, and didn't find anything else out there. Like we found, Gabe found the gopher tour, and Jack found the corn in like less than 30 minutes. It's like maybe 20 minutes in, and we had both of them. So I was like, oh yeah, because we were out there looking for diamondbacks and pine snakes and coach whips, so as sandhill species.
Yeah.
And so I was like, boom, it's gonna be a good day. Stuff's moving. Like, we got this. Nothing.
There must have just been a quick morning movement of fluctuation, and you guys were there to catch that. So that's.
I think we should have been there earlier. I think if we would have been there earlier, we would have had more luck.
What time did you guys end up starting?
So we actually originally we were going to a different spot. That spot ended up being closed because of the hurricane. So it took us 30 minutes to get to that spot, and then it took us another 45 to get to that spot, to the other spot, and we were already running behind because Gabe's ass was late. So it was everything was just kind of screwy. I definitely wanted to be there earlier, but we ended up getting there around 11.
Okay.
So it was like, just as it's kind of starting to get hot, but not really.
I mean, honest, for Florida, bro, once it's 11, that's when I'm a strictly pine snake and coach whip at that time, and EDB, which I mean, I guess that's what you guys were looking for. So I mean, was it windy as shit at all, or from the hurricane?
No, it wasn't windy at all.
No, okay. Jack said it was all Gabe's fault at the end of the day. So, I mean, let's just blame it on Gabe.
Yeah, I'm fully blaming it on Gabe. We call them big backs now. Diamondbacks.
Diamondbacks is a big back. That's a big back.
That's a big back.
Oh, big back.
Yeah. And this is a little cottonmouth we cruised up.
That was pretty, dude. That looks like some Florida stuff.
Yeah, dude, that was good. So that was the first night. So Jack got here on Friday. So Friday night we went road cruising with Smitty, and we found what did we find? Found a rat snake, found a little baby rat snake. We found a couple copperheads and that cottonmouth, which was cool because I hadn't found a cottonmouth on this road yet. This was like the main road I cruised. Yeah. It was kind of messed up though because a lot of the road was covered in debris. Luckily, the back half of it was pretty good. There was nothing on the back half of it, so that was surprising. But the first half was absolutely wrecked, so I'm sure there was a ton of stuff we missed. And then Saturday, the four of us went out to the Sandhills. And then Saturday night, we spent most of the day there, found the gopher and the corn. And then that night, we were road cruising again, same spot, found several more copperheads, another baby rat snake, and a ribbon. So that was about it.
That little baby gray rat you guys got looks super clean, man.
That's a yellow rat.
It was a baby yellow rat. No shit.
Yeah, we don't get grays here. They're all.
Oh, okay. My bad. Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah, but they were both boys.
Damn. So you didn't keep them then?
No, worry. I did collect a male from that road. Obviously, there's no shortage of them. So I'm on the hunt for a female, and yeah, 2 nights in a row, we found baby yellows, like fresh babies, and I was like, oh yeah,
Probably from the same damn clutch, bro, or close clutches.
who
Shit.
knows? But they both pop boys, so it is what it is.
I mean, you like boys, so that's no big deal.
Well, I don't want to. Yeah, I don't like collecting, so I didn't want to take. Yeah, I didn't want to take a bunch of them. But it's all good, man. We had a great time. Found quite a few snakes. Got to go for tort, and then yeah, Gabe road cruised with us Saturday night. Smitty didn't stay for road cruising Saturday night. He had to go home, and yeah, then Jack headed out early morning Sunday. And then I watched the Packers get the absolute dog shit beaten out of them. So that was fun. But yeah, overall, it was a great weekend. Had a great time with good friends, and that's what it's really about, man.
Hey, dude, you were with the boys and you guys got snakes. It's a fucking win. And you got a baby gopher snake. That was all a state lifer. So not only gopher tort. So not only that, but you just you guys all were able to kind of tick a box together, and that's kind of the main goal.
And that was a big thing for sure. Is just being out there, like the fact that gopher tortoise was a lifer for all 4 of us there on site. It was very cool. It was very neat. Very glad to have experienced that with everybody. Jack was super hype. Anybody who knows Jack knows he's the turtle man. So he was over the moon to find that. And I lost it, dude. I was so excited for that little guy.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, it was very cool.
You don't see him often that small or baby size or like that really medium age, man. It's really odd.
Dude, he was like that big.
Yeah, he looked baby size.
Little. He wasn't like fresh out of the egg, but he was
a tiny guy. Just a little tiny guy.
Little baby.
Wee little baby.
Yeah. So did you get to do any herping, or have you been
it's not that I haven't herped. I tried to go and hit my local roads with this storm coming through. I tried going before, I tried going after, I fucking went during. I just went again the other night. The movement around my area, or I don't know if it's just my time. It's not my times. I've been going at all kinds of different times. Right. So it's not that. I don't know if it's just still too hot, because it is hot as shit. I haven't seen anything lately, and I mean, I haven't had as much time to put in as earlier this year, but I haven't seen anything at any of my local spots. The water's super high. Like normally I feel like I'd see a lot of stuff, and I haven't seen anything.
If it's still really hot by you, that's probably got something to do with it, because it's cooling off by me. It was at night, it was getting down to like 76, 77.
Okay, well, yeah, just the other night when I went out, it was 78 when I left the house, and when I got out into the swamp and was road cruising my roads, it was 76 out there because it was a little bit lower and stuff. So I was like, oh, damn. Perfect temps. This is it. I mean, there was nothing but frogs crossing the road and shit. So I didn't see one snake. And I mean, we're talking about a place where I can go. I mean, this year alone, I've found 10 different species out there, and there's been nights where I found 6 in one night. So
I really think
it has animals.
I really think the storm didn't do us any good, like right after. I think it was going to take a couple days for things to try and, really get moving. It's like a couple days after, not like the day after. So, I bet you this week would have been fire.
But I went this week, dude. I went one day this week. I think it was either Monday or Tuesday night that I went, and I didn't see shit. But I'm gonna kind of switch it up. I've got some roads that I was already spotting for like when you guys come down to just go hit. So I'm probably gonna just go start running the gamut on those and see if I get some luck. But yeah, I've had no luck lately, guys. I need to get the fuck in the field.
Sure. That's all you can do, man. Well, with that, we've only got a couple write-ins this week. We literally only have 2, so we're just going to get right to it. First one is from our man, Hunter Lister. He was in the chat a minute ago. Hunter, if you're still here, chime in. He just said, squirrel tree frog he found at work today. So, and that was yesterday. So
does that thing have little speckles on it? Is that what that is?
I'm about to zoom in on it because this thing's fucking gorgeous.
Give him the zoom, bro. Give him that zoom.
Zoomy boomy.
Oh, that's pretty dope.
There we go.
Pretty cool little frog.
Yeah, squirrel tree frogs are cool, man.
That's dope. Do we have? I don't even know. I'd have to look. I don't know if we have those.
Yeah, I mean, y'all should. I know I do.
Okay.
I
feel like I've seen one of those, but then again, I don't know. Had orange spots. It's wild. There's our boy Hunter.
There he is. But yeah, man, cool. Thanks, Hunter. Always appreciate the good.
Keep them coming, bro.
Yes, sir. So next and last, we have our boy Devin Fraze. He's been coming in hot with the goods. He said, stopped on my way to visit Zach last weekend and found a nice northern ribbon snake and a nice looking northern water snake. Probably the last of each species I'll find this year. A guy was there with his kids, and it was cool to show them the snakes and do a little education. I was there for about 20 minutes. Once it got to Zach's house, we found 2 maritime garters, 3 blue spotted salamanders, and a spotted salamander, plus a few different frog species. The last pick is a baby maritime garter I found earlier in the week.
Dude, they freaking kill it when they get together,
dude.
bro. Like, what the frick?
Like, holy garter snake, dude.
Holy garter snake, but like
so many garter snakes.
What is up with the damn blue spots, bro? Like, get real.
Brother.
You gotta let brother. That thing is swollen, brother.
That thing is swollen. That's a big back.
Bro, that thing is a big back. Look at the tail on that joker.
That thing is so pretty, dude. Hot
you can always count on Devin for his stellar pictures.
Yeah, I'm sure these are much better on his phone. I don't know why they look like shit every time I save them, but they do.
So the ones that obviously that's the ribbon and the water snake that I'm guessing he found on the way to Zach.
Yeah.
Super dope, man. I love when he does the together pictures.
Yeah. Yeah, right there.
Damn,
that water snake looked a whole lot bigger in the solo picture instead of sitting him right there. I'm like, oh, he's not that big.
Yeah.
That's cool, though.
That's hilarious.
That's gorgeous.
That's hilarious.
Beautiful. Oh, look at that little guy.
Look at the little guy, dude.
He's so tight. And there's our boy Zach with a toad and a.
That's a beautiful human being, if you ask me.
Blue spot of Sally. Cool. Well,
does he have a salamander in his hand too?
Yeah, you can see it on the other side of the frog. Hold on. See it?
Right here. Oh yeah, there he is.
That's a chunky frog too, boy. God damn. But yeah, that's all we had for ride-ins. We were a little slow this week, I can imagine, because things are starting to cool off for some people. Burping's starting to slow down. So, yeah, it's all good. Certainly appreciate the 2 we got. So thank you, Devin and Hunter. Always appreciate it.
Thanks, fellas. You fellas.
Getting after it. Yeah, I guess with that, we'll go ahead and get our guest in here.
Get our fucking homie in here, bro.
Our boy. I mean, we've had many a herping endeavor with him. He's a good friend of all of ours, and that is Mr. Preston Converse.
P Daddy, as we like to call him.
As we prefer to call him.
We prefer to call him P Daddy.
What's up, dude?
What's going on, man?
Not much.
So Preston is actually a G for this. He accepted our invite this morning because we had a guest cancel last minute. So we were like, instead of Preston, see what he's got going.
We save all like the close homies for like these emergency backups.
Yeah, all the homies that we know real well. We're like, dude, please.
we need you now.
If I'm not working, I'm just doing reptile stuff. So this is, all part of whatever reptile stuff,
Right?
Yeah.
It's fun. I get to hang out with my homies,
That's right.
Yeah.
And plus talking herping, man, you can't.
Plus, we all have how many road miles together and trail miles together?
We have many an hour together.
Epic finds, epic fails, fucking just the whole gamut. So we gotta give the people what they want.
Yeah, we're gonna have some stories tonight. We're still gonna poke Preston's brain on some of the tips and tricks, because Preston has a really not unique, but I like Preston's outlook on herping and just the things that you do. So we definitely want to get into that. Yeah, he's barefoot half the fucking time when he's out there. So
God, barefoot in his damn flip-flops.
You just got to go out there and get in the shit.
Yeah, dude, that's right.
My favorite video is just Preston panning up from his damn flip-flop toes, and he's just in like chest-high fucking palmettos, and him and his buddy are just trekking through it. It's like, bitch, you clearly want your toes bitten off by a fucking pygmy rattlesnake or something. Like, come on.
I'm always getting a bunch of shit for that.
Yeah. That the last trip, me and Preston did, so I went down when Preston was still living in Florida. I drove to Preston, then we drove to Skies the next day. But that day I got there pretty early in the morning. But it was like December, wasn't it?
Y'all came down, I think in December, yeah.
Cold.
Yeah, it wasn't cold out, but it had been cold like previously. So me and Preston went walking, and there were some flooded up areas, and we got to this area that was like completely flooded over Lake Jessup, and we kind of looked at each other. We're like, it looks real snaky back there, and we're like, you just want to take off our shoes and wade through this water? And we're like, yep. So we just took off our boots and shoes and carried them through the water. It got up to almost knee high at one point. It got pretty deep at one point, but man, that water was cold.
It was cold.
Oh man, that water was so stinking cold. But that was fun.
Which is probably why we didn't see any alligators.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, for sure. It was probably for the best.
It'd have made it more exciting.
I mean, yeah, it would have been fun, but I was more worried about stepping on something I didn't need to step on.
You're either gonna
snap and turtle.
You gonna snap on a snapping turtle, or you gonna step on like a broken piece of glass and go straight up your foot?
Right. That would have been so bad.
Oh shit.
But yeah, we've all had some really good times. Me and Preston first met at the original Northern Morelia herp trip. Season 1 was when me and Preston met, and we were instant friends. So it's all downhill from there, brother.
Legit, yeah. The first, me and Preston had kind of talked a little bit before. Shoot, I think it was like 3 or 4 Daytonas ago now. I think it was 3, and then we all the homeboys that like all talked on the internet finally met up at Daytona. I think it was 3 years ago, and ever since then we've all just been locked up like dogs. Yes, freaking.
That's it.
In
just
the
need
field,
to get a big piece of property, and we can all build our houses on the
freaking compound, bro.
Yeah, we'll make our own trailer park of just snake nerds.
I'm glad you referred to it as trailer park, because it would be so fucking hillbilly if all of us lived on the same.
Yeah. See what we could do if we could build one giant building in the middle for everybody's snakes and reptiles to go into. Everybody has like their own room. Everybody just has their shitty trailers all around it. It'd be sick, dude.
We'll be legit trailer park boys.
Yeah. What'd you say, Preston?
We can put all the trailers in a big circle.
Yeah, exactly, dude. I mean, come on. I say we move out to Gabe's neck of the woods and do it there. That'd be perfect. Up in Francis Marion.
I'm all for that, bro.
I really like it out there.
Dude, I do too. I love it. If it wasn't so far of a drive to the nearest grocery store, it'd be money, dude.
You know Kroger delivers, right?
That's real far from Kroger, my boy. That's like, I think he's like an hour from like the nearest Walmart.
You'd be paying double your grocery price in the delivery.
Yeah, right.
Oh my god.
But yeah, dude, let's get into it. Let's start this like we normally do. Preston, what came first for you? Field herping or captive keeping, brother?
Definitely field herping. But when I was a little kid, I didn't call it field herping. I just went out into the woods and I was like, I'm gonna go catch me some reptiles.
Yeah, it was just catching shit.
It was just catching, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And it was really cool because growing up in Florida, man, I had like faith, hope, and charity all around my house, and it was like one of them was really swampy, one of them was crystal clear, and then another one it was kind of like in between, but there were more houses around one of them. The more crystal clear one, there were more houses around that one, and so it was hard to get all the way around it. But I used to snorkel that one all the way around the edges, and I would catch water snakes there.
The rodeo.
Yeah. I just really like growing up in that area because of where I grew up. The swamp in the back of the neighborhood had an orange grove, and then it had a huge section of like, I don't know, I guess it was like palmetto, like hammock style woods. Mm-hmm. And I used to just catch it all the time back there, and I'd bring it home and I'd put it in critter keepers that I made in the driveway because my dad had all the tools, all the spare wood. So I just enjoyed bringing stuff home, and I'd look at it, especially turtles, because my mom wouldn't let me have snakes. So turtles were my thing, and especially like musk turtles. So I would take like a 55-gallon aquarium, bring home a turtle or whatever, and I'd set them up with like sand, and then there'd be like a little water part with like duckweed on the top,
Nice.
So, but yeah,
that's always like the funnest stuff to start with too, because you're just watching it all the time, and you're spending a lot of time playing with the setup and just kind of really interactive with the animal. At least that's how it was when I was younger and shit.
And see, like, I feel like a lot of people did that exact thing, but I never did because my mom was so for one, my dad was like, only good snake's a dead snake. So that was out the window. My mom was very animal conscious. So she was like, you're not, because she loved all the frogs and toads, like I did, and the lizards and stuff. But like, she was like, you're going to kill this thing if you bring it in the house. Like, don't do that. Catch it outside and leave it outside. So I was never allowed to do that. So that's when she got me leopard geckos. So I would shut up.
Yeah. That. Any snake I ever brought home, I pretty much had to take it back, and let it go.
There wasn't even trying to bring snakes home. If I tried to bring a toad in the house, Mom was like, "Go bring that outside. What are you doing?" Because we had those little sprinkler boxes, where you open up and turn the valve on. Yeah. Dude, I would pop that sucker open about every day, boy, looking for a toad.
Dude, that's so funny. Dude, that's such a core childhood memory for probably like 90-something% of us in the hobby. Like that one little spot that we all had in the backyard that was either like you're saying, like that fucking electrical box or the sprinkler box or like the little the water washout things underneath your gutters, like where the gutters come down,
like
and
a downspout.
The downspout or whatever, like how you can like lift them up and flip them, bro. Oh my god, like those were like the key things to go check every single day for a toad or a roly-poly or a damn earthworm or whatever the hell it was.
It's like your amphibian flipping spots.
Yeah, that's exactly what they were, because like I got in big trouble the first time I caught a snake because I was like 7 and it bit me, and my parents bitched me out because I didn't know what it was. It was a little rat snake, but they were very upset at me.
So you've been good at getting bit by snakes since you were a kid.
Yeah, dude.
Okay, nothing's changed. Sounds good.
Nothing's changed. I did not get bit today though. I watered my entire collection in here. I didn't get bit once. So.
Good for you, brother. The pits didn't even light you up, huh?
No. They keep me on my toes, but
I bet.
Wrangle.
I bet.
I don't let them get close, man. I ain't doing all that. Cool, man. Well, Preston, give us a rundown. What's in your herp bag, man? Like, what do you got on the, whether it's a day trip or a weekend trip? What you got with you?
This season's kind of been really slow. I've got a few things. Gone out and done a couple trips. One of my last trips was kind of cool. I did a 9.5 mile trip or whatever up to the top of this peak. And, you know, my goal when I go out is always to have like some kind of destination. And as I go and, you know, fulfill this destination hike, I, you know, flip things and look for reptiles, you know, everywhere I go. And my main goal for this last hiking trip was a black rat snake before, you know, the season ends, because as of yet, I still hadn't seen a black rat snake. Well, this was like maybe a week ago, but, you know, I still didn't see a black rat snake. So, which isn't typical. I usually see multiple, you know, all year long. And so it was probably like the last 2 miles of my trek, and my dog almost stepped on this black snake, and I looked down and I was like, oh sweet, it's a black rat snake. And I ran around the tree where it was going, and it was about to head down the mountain, and I picked it up and we all hung out with it and checked it out and stuff like that. But that thing was a smoker, dude. It was super black.
I think it was black, jet
I think
black.
It was like, I was like Dark Knight style.
Jet black.
Snake, dude, that they had.
And it's like the further down it goes, dude, it's just dark, dark, dark. I thought it was a black racer at first because it was so black.
I thought it was a black racer when you first sent the pics, and then I read the comment and I was like, oh shit, black rat. What like, all right, so when you guys went on that trek and shit, like what all did you bring with you? Did you bring your backpack set up that you normally bring, freaking hooks, everything, or did you guys just go light on that day trip?
So I take plenty of water, and typically what I do is I'll take like a little water dish. So for the reptiles, like if I'm hiking out, I take like a hook. I'll have a little water dish and plenty of water for me. So I just fill up a little water if I find a snake or whatever, you know, I just try and hydrate whatever. And sometimes I'll take a couple bags depending on, you know, what I might be targeting. I was looking for a black rat snake to add into my group that I have. So I did end up bringing that individual home. It's doing really good. It's already eaten 2 meals for me. So
nice.
Yeah, I've got a tent ordered, one of those Vivo Suns.
Yeah, dude.
Yep. So I'm gonna deck that thing out and put that in there. It should be here in the next few days.
That's gonna be awesome, man.
That is gonna be
epic. So I have another female locality black rat from, I think it's Johnston County, which is over like in the Raleigh area. So another North Carolina locality, and she's almost ready to breed. So I got to probe this one, but I think it's a male, so that'll be cool. And then I have upcoming calico black rat too that I can add into that mix.
I was gonna say, you had that calico black rat, huh? That you still have?
Yeah.
You ended up losing it and finding it, right?
Huh?
You ended up losing that one for a minute and then refinding it?
I think I lost it for like 2 days or something like that. And then
I thought that. Yeah, I couldn't remember. If
I was like, oh my God, dude. So, but yeah, I got it. So it's good. And he keeps getting more beautiful. So.
Hell yeah.
That's awesome, man.
But I did, I was driving up my driveway's a half-mile long, and I don't know, it was probably like 3 days after I found that one on the hike. And I found another one in the driveway, a bigger one, going up to the house. So
hell yeah. That one just it took all year, and then you got the one, and it just started the fucking ripple effect. Like, all right, we can let you have black rats now.
And so that one was really cool. It didn't strike at me, but it kind of like bluff striked at me. It didn't have its mouth open or anything, but it kind of went at me a couple times, and it chilled out within like, I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes. And then I was just holding it and hanging out with it and let it go back down the mountainside.
Hell yeah.
I haven't seen any copperheads on the property yet. And I don't know, do you guys know if black rat snakes eat copperheads, like baby copperheads or anything? Or are they affected by their venom?
I wouldn't think so, because like if black rats ate stuff like that, I would assume yellows would too, and that's not something I've noticed down here.
Right.
So I wouldn't.
I was just wondering because I haven't seen any coppers, but I know.
Do you guys have a big population of black racers?
Yeah, there are black racers on the property.
I would see black racers eating the copper.
Black racers would for sure. So you never know. That can definitely take a toll on it. But I've never,
on the property breeding with my dad. We were out walking around in the backside of the property and found 3 of them, 2 males and a female.
Hell yeah!
Damn,
all doing their thing.
That's one thing we do not have a shortage of around here is copperheads, man. I think between the 2 nights road cruising with Jack last weekend, I think we probably found 10 of them ish, and they're just, especially on that road, dude, they're everywhere, man. I don't get it. And normally road cruising, like I usually in most areas I would find babies, but on this road for some reason I find a mix of babies to adults. Like I found some freaking big copperheads out there.
You find some smoker babies and smoker adults, which is sick. But quick side note, Dirty Sanchez is in the chat. What's up, homie?
What's up?
Miss you, big dog.
Oh, Dirty. It's a boy.
I do need to get out on this road though by me. It's called Needmore, and it goes all the way along the river.
What's it called?
It's called Needmore.
Yeah.
Come over. Nah.
He's all click.
you just go down that road, and it follows the river. And I've been told by a bunch of locals that there's a lot of like rattlesnakes and stuff like that down there. And I've been down there a few times and I haven't seen anything. But I was coming home from there the other night, and I was on the opposite side of Needmore, and I know it was a snake, and I don't think it was a black rat in the road. And I swear I distinctly remember seeing like black bands with like blonde in between, and I was just thinking rattlesnake the whole time, and I was like, oh my god, I couldn't turn around because there was a car, and or I couldn't stop, so I hit the U-turn and went back, and it was gone. It didn't get hit, so
that's
the important part. I'd rather the snake not be there than find it dead.
Exactly.
So that's a big thing for me,
dude. Speaking of that, bro, I think you should all, if you have the chance, like how Preston's saying, like he couldn't immediately stop, but he, like, as soon as he could, he turned around and go back and check. Dude, I just had this opportunity with a turtle 2 nights ago. That when I passed it, it was on a busy ass 2 to 3 lane road, which hit a middle median and then had another 2 to 3 lanes. And I was like, oh my God, this guy is totally smoked, because I had a line of cars behind me. And then I got up to the next red light, and then something in me was just like, bro, go back for that guy. Sure as shit, bro. I go back, and homie is like trying to cook it across the lane now. And I'm like, oh, you're definitely about to get cooked. And here comes some cars. So
oh, no.
If you've been in my Kia, you know I've absolutely smoked my e-brake. There is no e-brake. And
that e-brake does not work. I don't understand how the e-brake even.
Yeah, I'm coming back to where I saw the turtle, and I'm cooking, bro. And I just ripped the e-brake on the wet road. The car just continuously slides into the middle of the median. I fucking hop out, grab little homie, and I fucking got him across the road. But I was just thinking, I was like, holy shit, man. You really got to just, even if you had the chance, just turn around, man. Just go back and save that life. Because I was like, felt like shit right after I saw it. I was like, damn, he's going to be fucking squished. And then I was like, oh my God, I actually saved it. This is so sick. So.
Oh, dude! I
always go back for the homies, man. Always go back.
I had the opposite thing happen, except like it was a really difficult spot. So I was down there's a main road that I live off of, leading to the air station by me. It's a military base, and oh yeah, it doesn't matter. It's called Laurel. It's called Laurel Bay Road. But I was actually on my motorcycle, and I was going down, and there's this little box turtle on the side of the road. There's cars behind me, construction's going on. It's a grass median on the side, and I was like, I can't fucking pull over right now, dude. It's like, this is a terrible spot. So I left, and I was like, man, like I felt like shit. I was like, I should figure out a spot to pull over. But I was on the bike, dude. And construction was happening. Well, I came back home, you know, and I was like, I hope I just don't see it. I hope it got off the road, and there was this massive just splatter in the middle of the road. I felt like such a piece of shit, dude.
Damn,
I was like,
dude.
I'm never doing that again. I was like, next time I'm figuring out a way to pull it over.
That's happened to me too, and that's why I always just like it fucking rips me up if I see something and don't turn around. Like I have to, bro. I could be that only last chance that little fucker's got.
If I would have been in the truck, I would have been in that grass as soon as I could. But on the bike, dude, line of cars behind me, I was like, "This,
bro, you ride that Harley Davidson like a damn."
Look, you call
like
it a Harley.
motorcycle.
Call it a Harley one more time. One more time, buddy. I'll drive out to you.
It would sound a lot cooler.
It sounded cooler when I said Harley. You and your Sportster.
No, I won't drive. You won't catch me dead on a Harley, but get out of here.
I have seen a lot of box turtles this year, though.
Yeah, there has been a lot of box turtles which is always good to see.
Always check the bushel thistle.
The bushel thistle. Dude, we found so many box turtles on that last herp trip to the Francis Marion, man.
Yeah, we did.
Oh my god.
Jixer or Hunter, I agree with you. Thank God it's not a Jixer because I'd have to smack that man in the back of his neck.
No, I won't.
Hey, bro, check out my Jixer.
Nah, I can't. For one thing, I ain't gonna ride a Harley. Second thing, I ain't gonna ride no sport bike. All right.
That's because you can't ride no sports bike. You need.
I can ride a sports bike. I may not ride it very long.
He rides crotch rockets really good.
Wow. That was a thing you just said.
Yeah, crotch rockets. This is another thing named for sports bikes, bro.
Yeah, I know what you. That's not what you meant. Moving on. Moving on. This is not a motorcycle podcast.
Next question.
Preston, road cruising versus hiking. Which do you prefer, and what are the perks of each?
If you like eating donuts and being lazy, road cruising's the way to go. You got your fucking soda and all that shit right there, dude.
AC, baby, come on now.
All that.
Creature comforts, bro. Creature comforts. They're nice. They're good to have.
I don't know, man. I've been pretty successful with both hiking and road cruising, and I feel like on a good night though, when things are like really popping off, like temperature's right, the timing, like what time of night, evening, whatever you're going out at, barometric pressures, all that, if it's popping off, I think road cruising, if you're in like dense populations of different species, I think you're really going to pay off. But I end up spending a lot of gas money when I go road cruising.
Yeah, boy, especially in that old F-150 you got, man. I know that thing just eats gas for breakfast, dude.
You don't have the most
so it's definitely paid out road cruising, but I find a lot more when I'm on a hike, personally. Like I'll, instead of like looking on the trail where I'm hiking or like right on the edge, if I'm like, I don't know, 10 feet off the trail or so, maybe a little further, because I think the animals know where the trail is, and I don't think snakes are any different than birds, as far as awareness to humans. And I see a lot more animals like on the sidelines. So usually if I'm like hiking and I take a minute to slow down and chill out, I'll find animals. So
that is one thing Preston is always doing. Like when we go hit a trail, it's like, I guess we all kind of, when we're together, we all kind of do like a fan kind of spread sweeping area, kind of do like a line, so anything we scare out, it might ping off of another person. But Preston is damn true to that fucking method, man. Every time we go out, this dude is fucking in his flip-flops 10 to 15 foot off the damn trail, just bushwhacking. You'll turn around, baby. You're like, yeah, where's Preston at? And then you look over and he's over there freaking diddling in a pond frond, dude. It's like, all right, get after it.
It's easy, man. If I need to jump in the swamp or whatever and go catch a snake, man, I just kick off my flops, dude, and go.
That's why I did. I've switched from boots to a breathable hiking shoe.
Hoka 1-1.
Not
Oh, you got the different ones now.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah. So it's just a tennis shoe, but there's a lot of breathability in them. So it's like I got these specifically in case I needed to take a header into the swamp. Like, if they'll dry out, not worried about it. Whatever. So that was the main reason I did that. But I'm still big on pants, man. God, you can ask Smitty. Smitty came. We hiked Saturday, and he was wearing shorts and boots. I said, "Boy, you're gonna regret those shorts." He goes, "Nah, it'll be all right." I said, "Okay," and sure enough, boy, we were roughing it through the long leaves. And he's like, "Man, I don't know how many times I gotta learn this lesson. I should have wore pants." I was like, "Dude, I told you," because there were
ticks or cuts.
Everything, dude. I got into chiggers. I had bug bites all over my legs, and I was wearing pants, and like there was briars all over the place. And
bro, I will take getting cut up all day by briars and palm fronds over getting a batch of chiggers.
I would too, but I'm wearing pants either way, my guy.
Last year, dude, I forget what trip we were on, but I think I had chiggers for like 4 months, bro.
Oh yeah, dude.
It was horrible.
You just keep scratching them, and the bites.
I looked like a meth patient. I was like, I promise I didn't relapse, you guys. I swear.
I was getting really bad ticks all over my legs when I was coming to your house.
Yeah.
All those little babies.
Oh, that one time we hit the trail by Sky's old house. Yeah.
Oh, the seed ticks, bro.
Yeah, I didn't get any on me. Preston walked through something, and then you found like 10 to 13 on you or some shit.
Bro,
dude, more than that. They're hundreds probably. They were
hundreds. Those seed ticks are the worst I've ever been infested, bro. I remember I had probably thousands on me, bro. I was pouring bleach on me, trying to cut them off with a razor blade. Like
that's what I did. The one time I got into them bad, there was thousands on both of my feet. And like they were just on my feet and on my ankles, and like you couldn't pick them off because they're so tiny. I literally just took a knife and scraped them off my feet, and they were between my toes.
I got a lot of these off because I think Sky gave me like a roll of packing tape or something, and
that's right. You were
That's what that we were doing. That's that was idea. Tape was what I ended up using on my last one, dude. That was freaking gnarly. Turtle lives matter. Hell yeah, save the turts.
So Tyson brought up something good. He said chiggers, poison ivy, mosquito bites, ticks, seed ticks are all awful. Does poison ivy affect y'all?
Yes.
I have the old mythological thing of where I had poison ivy and poison oak so much as a kid that now it doesn't affect me. But when I got it as a kid, I used to break out in full body hives, and now it's to the point where I could just go play with some poison ivy like I'm tossing a salad.
It's never once bothered me. I grew up in the woods running around barefoot. I've been around it. I know I have. It's never once affected me at all. I don't know why some people it's like really bad. Like my coworker, if it touches him, he was like you used to do. He breaks out. He gets it everywhere, dude.
Yeah,
but
I think you can build. I think if you're not allergic to it, you can build an immunity to it. But if your body is allergic to it, I think you're just screwed for life.
Yeah,
it used to not bother me at all when I was a kid, and then now it seems to bother me. And I can be around it, but if I'm like brushing up against it, I'll start feeling like my skin starts to tingle.
Yeah.
And I know that's like the beginnings of it. But my grandma, when I was growing up as a kid, she couldn't even be around the stuff. Just being around it, she would start, breaking out in like a rash. And then she would be itching all over the place and have to go take care of that.
My uncle up north is like that. He can't even be around it. And he was out camping one day. And they built a fire, and somebody threw poison ivy in the fire, and the smoke got in his face. He ended up going to the hospital, dude, because the smoke went in his mouth, and like he almost freaking died, dude. Like
I bet he was probably
he was allergic as hell. And, dude.
Jack said we can always just get the cigarette method for the ticks, man.
Dude, we should have let him do it, man. I don't know why we didn't. I should have just let him burn that sucker off. Boy.
Dude, could you imagine using a ciggy to burn off seed ticks? You're just sitting there roasting. You're fucking ripping the cigarette. Da, 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 da. Da, da, da. Just
no,
fucking. What a way to live. What does it say?
Which one?
I don't know. We got two bigger comments.
Yeah. Hunter said, I'm the same way, Jake. It's never affected me. I can't make this up, though. When I was growing up, a friend of mine wiped his ass with it. Didn't end well for old boy. Oh, God, dude.
Yeah. Old boy's ass like a damn chimpanzee, bro. What?
And then Tyson says, one time in grad school, my 2 field techs and I all got thousands of seed ticks on us at a field site. 3 grown men took our pants off and rode back to the house in our underwear. 100%, Bubba. You do what you got to do, man.
Yeah, I mean, we do that every road trip. Me and Jake and Preston are on.
And there ain't even no seed ticks involved.
Sometimes there ain't even ticks.
It's just hot.
It's just, hey, that's just how we roll.
Man. Oh, yeah. No, dude, that stuff is no fun. There's no avoiding it either, man. That's But another thing I want to talk about with you about, Preston, you've kind of been back and forth between Florida and North Carolina. Like, I know you started in Florida, moved to North Carolina, back to Florida. Now you're in North Carolina again. So talk about like the differences in herping and like, different methods and what works best and like, why is it, how is it different? And, what are some of your tactics?
I think it's really hard to find reptiles in my part of North Carolina. I think more east it might be a little bit easier, but up in the mountains where I'm at, they can be more scarce. So sometimes I'll go out, multiple trips, I'll go road cruise or go on like little hikes, looking for whatever. I can always turn up salamanders, but reptiles, most common thing is for me is a black rat snake, but it's just really hard to find. I think it's just really hard to find reptiles up here. Box turtles are really common.
Do you think that's because of the type of terrain and there's more habitat to hide under, or do you think it's just being a mountain, things are more scarce?
Probably a mix of both, because obviously geology is going to have an effect on you not only finding it, but just the pocket populations and where shit's going to stay or spread,
Yeah, so I've noticed like especially when I lived in Maggie Valley. So I lived on, I think it was the north side of the mountain, and we got a lot of shade. We were always shaded by trees. Even at like 12 o'clock in the afternoon, we were pretty much shaded. But the other side of the mountain, which was the opposite side of the gorge, the valley, they always got sun at, and that's where I always found the Nerodia, the black rat snakes, found a timber over there, copperheads, fence lizards. But that's where I always found them. On my side, I think in 5 years, I found a ringneck snake. So I think it very well depends on where you're at in the mountains, because down in the valleys, you get more openness. There'll be more sun. There'll be more like collection of water coming down from the mountains and meeting and funneling. So
I was about to say there's a lot more water down in the valleys. Like you don't have ponds up on a mountain. It's just not going to happen. So I assume water is a little harder to find. I'm sure that plays a huge role in it.
Yeah, and that water is really cold too. So coming out of the mountains, like I'm not even 100%. I've looked around on for like different turtle species, but I don't think there's a lot of like mountainous turtle species around me.
Yeah, mostly box turtles and shit.
Yeah. So,
which I mean, it makes sense. Like obviously, like I feel like geologically that's gonna determine where your reptiles are, because like you're saying, if the sun's only going to hit a certain part of the mountain or a certain part of the valley where there's a water source consistently throughout the year, that's where every animal and reptile is going to probably migrate to, where they know they can survive the longest. So I feel like in your case, geology would have a very big part in where your animals are going to like concentrate to and where your pocket populations are going to be and whatnot. Because I feel like anywhere you do find reptiles, like in the northern states, like your area, sometimes like North Georgia, like the Blue Ridge area and shit, like where you do find stuff, you find a lot. And it's like, then you might go, drive for 45 minutes to an hour, and that whole terrain might just be like inaccessible. Like you're saying, it's not livable. And then you get to another spot where it's prime habitat and it's just all blown up again.
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of how like
some of those inaccessible terrains, like on one of my hikes, I found that one milk snake. And that was on a red like cliffside. And that, I mean, it wasn't inaccessible, but most people probably wouldn't go climb up there.
I mean, and you definitely have those species that are definitely more mountain oriented, like milk snakes in South Carolina. You got to go to upstate to find them. You're not going to find milk snakes by me. So there's definitely some species that are more prone to being in the mountains. But it's definitely, again, it's just, you got to know your target. What are you looking for? You're probably not going to go down to the valley to look for a milk snake. You're going to stay at a little bit higher of elevation. You're going to be flipping a lot of shit and peeling bark and stuff like that. But if you want to find a queen snake, you're going to go down to the valley where there's water and, plenty of stuff like that. But you still got to be more north. Like, you're not going to find queen snakes by me. You got to go to upstate. That's
and I think that female milk snake, she was basking around like 11 o'clock in the morning. And I think it was a fairly cool day. I want to say it was like, I think the hot spot when I temp gunned it, I think it was reading like 75 degrees maybe. So it was kind of chilly out. It wasn't like the air was cooler than that. That was like,
that was where the sun was hitting on the rock.
Because she was soaking up some warmth, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. Because I'm pretty sure I remember that, and I'm pretty sure you said it was like in the 60s, like natural air temp, but like where that it was basking at was warmer, obviously.
Yeah, and then I've noticed also too that because we have 8.5 acres, and the back side of the property, I don't really see any animals, but the front side is where I have found most of my black rats, and because that's where the sun hits, and there's a huge field of ferns down there, and I find a lot of the box turtles in the ferns.
And that makes sense because like ferns are they grow in damp soil, so I'm sure box turtles they get can get some water from that.
You pronounce the word fern wrong. It's bushel thistle.
A bushel thistle. That is something weird though that I've noticed with box turtles, because like when we were out in Tennessee, me and my sister went on a hike. And for one, fuck mountain hiking. That shit sucks. It was terrible.
Just don't be so fat.
Yeah, I could try that. That'd probably be better. But we were like almost at the top of this mountain, and there's just a box turtle just sitting right in the middle of this path. Like, it was facing downhill, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, he was just chilling.
He's Montaigne, bro.
I guess so, man. So I found that, then I flipped that red salamander, which was awesome.
Yeah, that red was epic.
Yeah, so those are the only two herps I managed to find. But yeah, it was neat.
But yeah, going down to Florida,
yeah,
I think it's a lot easier for me to find reptiles down there than it is up here.
Definitely.
But I'm also from there, so I've spent 30 years, running around in the bush, and and just wherever, I've been all the way from South Florida to North Florida, you know, camping everywhere since I was a kid. So I have a huge like knowledge of like where I can find what I want to find. You know, if I want to go get pygmies, I've got spots. You know, it's just
Florida. I mean, Florida compared to Tennessee is such a different world when it comes to reptiles. Man, not only is Florida just a different world with reptiles compared to the rest of the country, but freaking, I feel like you're comparing apples to freaking rotten papaya when you compare the two. I mean, we're technically a different world over here. And like Preston said, if you go from the bottom of the state to the top, the plethora of species that are available to you, depending on what habitat you hit, is freaking endless. Like, I mean, literally a lifetime of work that you could put in to try to find everything out here in Florida versus, I mean, you could still probably spend a lifetime in Tennessee, but the handful you'd be collecting is obviously going to be a fraction.
I also think it's not even like, obviously Florida's got probably the most, not including invasives, Florida's got the most species of reptiles in the, one of the most species of reptiles in the country. I'm sure Arizona touches that.
Arizona and Texas is probably close.
Definitely
close. Or better.
Yeah, that's what I'll say. I wasn't gonna say guaranteed, but between the three, yeah. But I also think it's a density thing because like North Carolina and Tennessee have plenty of species in the state, but it's not as dense and it's a lot more specific habitat. Florida, you can find everything in Florida in a lot of spots, but there's
a lot warmer year round.
That too. It's a lot warmer. You got a whole lot more time to find them. You got more habitat for them, and there's just more animals. You know what I mean? You go to North Carolina and Tennessee, not only do you have a few less species, but you have limited time and you have to go to specific spots and there's just not as many,
Yeah, everything is definitely window and pocket location based for sure. So.
Yeah, see, I don't have green anoles by me. But
really?
But 30 minutes down the road, I know a mountain spot that's got some green anoles. And I've seen a lot of pictures, but I've never heard of a local like saying anything about like a bright green anole. I know where the spot is, so I'm gonna go check it out and see if I can't find any before winter hits. I want to go maybe this weekend because I think I'm off on Sunday, so I want to try and go. But it'll be kind of cool to see what I can figure out with that.
That's crazy, man.
That's the one thing that blows my mind when people are like, "Oh yeah, we don't have this," and it's like literally the most common thing I see here, and I'm like, "Really?" Like in Florida, but like Sky, you're like, I never see copperheads. I don't have copperheads here, and I'm like, you don't have copperheads there, of all things. And
but meanwhile, I have 5 species of lizard that lives in my garage and on my front porch.
Right.
So it's like insane.
Yeah.
And see, that was one thing I was always like, I don't really know the right word to say, but I always wanted to go down south, or I always wanted to be like the kid that grew up down south catching all the invasives when I was growing up. Because when I was growing up, I wasn't catching invasives because I was more north central and I was just catching more natives. So I was always like, oh man, now I got to go all the way down south to go catch some, cool lizards or critters or whatever.
That was wild seeing, like when we went down. Fortunately, Preston was supposed to be with us on the South Florida trip, but plans unfortunately changed. But that was the weirdest thing, man. You just feel like you're on a different planet, dude. With like green iguanas everywhere, painted agamas, brown basilisks. We found the berm. It was like, where are we? Massive toads the size of my freaking laptop. I'm like,
bro,
and freaking moon, dude. Like,
you gotta crazy. Think, we went down there and you saw it in shitty weather.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Like prime weather. Like anytime I go down there, bro, it's like you said, it's a different world, bro. It's so crazy. It's crazy. It really is.
It was so cool though. Just like stuff. Granted, yeah, it sucks because it shouldn't be here at the end of the day. Like
it ain't going nowhere at this point.
Yeah, it's not going anywhere. But it's so that aspect of it, kind of blows. But at the same time, like you can't tell me it's not cool. Like
Bro, we caught a Burmese python in South Florida, brother.
Yeah, that's
what?
Wild. The brown, I gotta say that obviously next to the berm, I think the brown baskets were my favorite ones to see, dude.
We didn't even see a green, bro. We wait till you see a green basilisk down there. They're a lot harder to find.
Sick.
So fucking cool.
Especially a big male.
Yeah.
Jeez, man.
Yeah. We got to do another South Florida trip ASAP.
Oh yeah, no, it's happening. Honestly, we should probably be getting down there soon.
Bro, just come down for the weekend. Let's go rape it for the weekend.
Well, I was gonna say, me and Jack had some really good herping right before the Daytona trip, and so I don't know. Maybe would you guys want to go down south pre-Daytona?
Oh, next year? Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah,
dude. I'm always.
I mean that gives plenty of time to I don't know maybe coordinate some stuff and go down.
I'm always down for SoFlo, dude. You guys.
Yeah, because I normally get Daytona on Thursday, so we could always just leave on like Tuesday or something. I guess that would hurt Sky a little bit with the monitors. I know your time's kind of limited being away, but nothing says we couldn't go hit South Florida for a day or two, come back, take care of we'll help you bust out your shit, and then hit the Daytona.
I could definitely make that happen for sure. Faux show.
I would definitely like to try and figure out something about maybe because I've never seen one either. Well, not in the wild, but
Brokeback.
Get us a Bigfoot.
Get us a Bigfoot.
Yeah, get us a Sasquatch.
You want to go get you a damn swamp squatch? Swamp ape?
I want to get some wetsuits and stuff and go see if I can't find some hellbenders.
Buddy, I'd love to see you in a wetsuit. That's all I'm saying.
So you're game.
Yeah, I know. I'm game. Yeah, let's do
it. Count me in. Hey, can I be your snorkel? I'll be what you breathe into.
Oh my God,
dude! If I get a big enough wetsuit, you can just get in my wetsuit.
That seems way more efficient.
And then we can stay warm because we can pee in the wetsuit.
And you'll have shared body heat, but also you'll have four eyes on the targeted area as well.
Yeah, it's like 50-degree water, dude. The warmer we can be, the better.
I like I like the way you think.
Yeah, dude. 4 eyes are better than one.
Exactly.
I love Jack's comment to y'all's trip to Florida. He goes, Preston and I fell in love then, broke back Florida.
Them cheeks would be cheeking.
Oh my gosh. Jack's a freaking legend, dude. I love that kid so much.
How do you not love Jack? He's so adorable.
Jack Attack.
Yeah, he was cool, man. I was real glad to get some one-on-one time with him.
Yeah. So we're talking, I don't know if you guys are down, I'll go ahead and bring it up. So since we're talking about Daytona, next year, me and Jack, we talked about it when he was here this weekend. Since we all just basically only sleep in the hotel rooms, we're talking about just like splitting one between like all of us and just split it. Everybody bring blow up mattresses and call it a freaking day. It'd be 4 or 5 of us in there.
Why can't we just share the beds?
I mean, we can. I just,
dude, we just put all the beds together.
Dude, we can build a fort. That'd be sick, dude.
They come in, it's just a fort, and the mattresses are up on their sides, and we have fucking blankets over top.
All the lights are off. We got flashlights in there.
Oh my fucking God, dude.
So I think that'd be sick. It'd be super cheap for everybody, and because I'm never in the room. I'm up there to bring reptiles in and then be done with it, and sleep. So
I just had to shit and sleep.
Yeah, that's it.
I didn't even eat in there.
No, dude, I didn't know. I literally just slept in there. I would go up there to drop off snakes, and I'd bring people up to give them snakes. I brought a bunch of stuff, and I just slept. So,
dude, the amount of money I paid for the rooms that whole time
was ridiculous.
Versus how much time I spent in there and actual sleep time should be illegal. They absolutely robbed me.
Yeah,
Over
dude.
$1,000 for a total hour,
Yeah,
$1,000 for a total hour, 8 hours of sleep.
Well, that's
Get out of
because
my
you
ass.
didn't get the Daytona discount. Like,
Yeah, I was a week late, bud.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So we're talking.
$1,000 too fucking expensive.
So we're talking about go ahead and booking it like now, and then we'll do up to 4 to 5 people. So we're thinking 3 of us, Jack and Gabe. And
Dude, what did you do to your bed, Jake?
I don't know. Jake's bed Daytona looked like. No, see that what he's talking about is so I get really hot when I sleep. So I took off that big comforter and I just had and it was all tucked under the bed, so I didn't untuck it. I just peeled it back and I only slept under the sheet. Gabe was mad at me though because he was like, "Dude, do you snore?" And I was like, "I don't snore bad." And I was like, "I might snore a little bit." And I guess I was a little intoxicated, and I guess I was sawing freaking logs in there. He was like, I had the noisemaker going and a pillow over my head, and I still couldn't sleep. I was like, damn.
See, you
Sorry,
kicked
brother.
Ty out of not coming this year, and you became Ty.
Oh, it's not that bad.
No, you were snoring too at the first herb trip, weren't you? At Chaz's house in the living room when we were all sleeping in there.
Oh my god, that was the best time ever.
Who was that snoring?
I don't know. I was skinny back then.
Yeah,
so
someone was snoring real bad. That was
somebody was snoring in their tent at the last herp trip, and everybody was saying it was you, Sky, and it was it wasn't kind of snoring. It was
I snore bad, bro. I got a deviated septum from when I broke my nose, so when I'm snoring, it is struggling for air to meet my lungs, choking on my tongue simultaneously,
yeah, choking on my tongue. Jesus Christ! Oh my God, I'm sweating in here, dude.
Dude, I'm sweating too. I'm like, what the fuck? My AC's on 70-something degrees, 2 or 3 degrees, and I'm still hot as shit.
Well, I'm in the reptile room, so it's 80 freaking degrees.
No shit, Jake. We see your background.
Yeah, I'm saying it's 80 degrees in here. It's hot. Okay, shut up.
Yes, sir. Sorry, I didn't mean that.
That's right. That's right. You put some respect on that.
Put some respect on my name. Let's talk about some tri-headed conjoined herp trips with the boys, man.
So I was going to bring this up earlier, but I decided to save it. I think one of my favorite stories from herping with Preston was I know I told this story on here before. I'm going to tell it again because Preston's here. We were coming back from Sky's house, and we were on some back road, and there's a line of people, and there was this gigantic soft-shell turtle on the side of the road. And Preston was like, dude, turn the fuck around. We got to get that thing off the road. I was like, okay. So I just whipped it around real quick, dude. We got out there, stopped traffic, and just help this. I mean, the thing was a dinosaur, dude. I mean,
it was massive.
I didn't even know they got that big, dude. This thing was like a freaking car hood.
Soft-shell turtles grow so much slower than any other turtle, too. So that thing was probably like a freaking great-great-grandpa, bro. That thing was probably so old. Living a good
it was like a trash can lid, dude.
Yeah,
I've seen him, bro. I've seen him, bro. 55-gallon drum, fucking massive.
This thing, I mean, it was one of the biggest turtles I've ever seen in my life, at least in the wild, for sure. I mean, for sure in the wild, yeah, it was the biggest turtle I've ever seen in my life. This thing was gigantic, and luckily there's another good Samaritan guy. He jumped out, and he was like, "Oh, I'm glad somebody else stopped. I was turning around to come make sure this thing got across the road." But literally everybody in the road stopped, for it, and nobody honked their horn or got mad, and we just helped this thing cross the road. It took its time, so Preston kind of edged it along from the backside, and as soon as that sucker hit the hill, boy, he was gone.
Those things are so fast, bro.
So fast. For what reason?
It's ridiculous. For what reason?
There's no reason to be that fast.
Because they're a part-time soft-shell turtle, part-time fever dream, bro. They will come.
You seen those things jump?
Jump?
Yeah, when they're mad, yeah.
Oh, yeah. They'll just kind of do like a pop?
They pop all their legs, and they'll come off the ground, bro.
Jeez.
And their necks can almost reach your fingers and stuff in the back of their shell.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know you're telling me that. You're like, don't touch it mid-body because mid-body, that sucker will grab you.
either underneath, grab it by the bottom of like the carapace or whatever, or is that what it is? The bottom?
Plastron.
You got there's like a spot where it gets a little bit skinny towards the back. You can usually grip your hand right around that. I would always like grab them from the bottom and then use my other hand as like a brace. So I was like almost like sandwiching it, and then it would always just be like
that would work if you could pick this thing up, but my God.
Yeah, it sounds like Jaws was massive.
No, dude. The thing was as big as the freaking table I'm at, dude. It was I couldn't believe it, man.
My grandpa went and picked one up out of the road one time. He pulled over because it was crossing the road, and he went and picked this big old giant soft shell up, and it reached over. I guess he grabbed it mid-body or something. It reached over, and it smacked his thumb, and it took off like, I mean, you can see like flap of skin just hanging there.
It was pretty bad, bro.
Oh, man. No, man.
Dude, I honestly, I don't think I could pick one favorite herping catch or herping story with Preston because there is so many.
There's so many.
But like the two that I can think of right now that stick out heavy duty in my mind is when our overseas buddy Aiden was out here, and him and Preston came down and stayed for a few days. And this dude is from overseas. He's already on a hell of a trip. He's got his trip went to shit, and then he got rescued by the boys. So now we're freaking just trying to get him on whatever we can. And dude, all three of us got on a gravid, fully heated up coach whip, female coach whip one day. And it took all three of us as a group effort chasing this thing through the bushes, and then Preston making the freaking last minute grab as this thing's going back down a tortoise or a gopher hole. And all of us just, I mean, when you talk about three dudes jumping around screaming like little girls, chest bumping and clapping hands and shit, that moment was so, yeah. I mean, we were clapping cheeks. We were clapping cheeks. I mean, it was a lit moment. But I just remember like me and Preston were laughing because obviously me and Preston have seen coach whips in Florida. I know Preston's caught coach whips. I've caught coach whips before that coach whip. But when we got back home and like, yeah, Jake, you're lame. We got back home and I remember me and Preston were just like looking at all the pictures and videos that we had from that moment. And the look and the laugh on our boy Aiden's face, like seeing this coach whip, like it was like me and Preston were stoked as shit. But seeing someone else more stoked than us for that moment to happen, like that was a fucking... That moment will stick with me forever. And then we just spent all that time taking some badass pictures with it. But then the other one that really sticks out for me is when it was pretty recent. Shit, did I totally just brain fart it? I just forgot. I was just thinking about it. Fucking... God damn, I just totally brain farted. I just got so
it obviously wasn't that cool.
It was great, dude, because literally every catch me and Preston have is pretty freaking epic. But I just got immersed in that first catch. I'm not gonna lie.
Dude, I remember we were walking through the swamp and it was pretty dry, and we were looking for pretty much whatever, but we're always keeping our eye out for like rat snakes and stuff. And dude, he looks up in this, I think it was a cypress tree. He looks up like in the cypress tree or whatever. And he's like, right there. There's like, and it was, remember that one?
In the swamp? Yeah. And it was just rolled up there chilling.
That cypress tree.
That was fucking awesome. Man, now I'm like totally pissed at myself because I was just thinking of a freaking awesome story with this. Even though there's a gajillion. I think that's the problem. Now I'm gonna be mad at myself.
One of my other favorites was my lifer Brown with you guys.
Oh yeah, that was sick right there at the river spot.
That was a fun one.
That was the one you grabbed off the rock, right?
Yeah, I had to like skip across two rocks and grab it. I thought for sure I was going in the water, dude. I emptied out all my pockets. I was like, fuck it. Like, we're gonna try this.
Hold my shit. Shit.
I'm not getting it. I was like, I was almost sure I was gonna get wet, so I was waiting to like hop on one of those rocks and just absolutely bust my ass on it.
Boom. Shut up. The thought just hit me. Shut up. It just hit me. Shut up. Sorry, everybody. All right. This was recent, but this is one of my most favorite fucking memories with Preston. When we were in Francis Marion, foot racing barefoot like two little fucking teenagers for every fucking snake we saw on the road. There was probably 20 times me and this man.
Oh, yeah.
We were running as fast as we can, and we just look over at each other like two little spirits, fucking like, let's see who can get first, buddy. Run up. We'd be like trying to grab the snakes first from each other. That one will those ones will hit for a while with me. That was a fun time, man.
That shit was fun, dude.
That shit was so fun.
Speaking of that, I have the best picture of Preston and Sky known to mankind.
Oh yeah, that will forever be probably my favorite picture.
I love that picture, dude. And Sky was telling me, he's like, use the flash. I was like, no, I'm not gonna use the flash. You'll see why in a second. I showed him the picture. He's like, oh shit, that's great. And I was like,
yeah, you showed me that picture, and I was like, okay, that one's going in a catalog for the rest of my life.
Instantly shut your mouth.
Shut my mouth, took my pants off.
That's right.
We were all. I remember on that herb trip, the last one we went on. We were all riding to go take a break or something because we were all like whooped, and I can't remember what we were doing, but I think we were going to like maybe a Subway or something.
Yeah, that's the only place to get around there.
Me and Chaz were in his Prius, and we're cruising down the road at like fucking 60 miles an hour, and I don't know how far up ahead it was, but I saw. The grass was like 12 or 18 inches tall. And then I see like this little black periscoping thing coming out of the grass. And it was a pretty good ways up. And I was just like, fucking snake. And Chaz hit the brakes, dude. And we're in the Prius. And he's like, no, like, I'm doing a dead stop. I'm like, stop. He's like, I'm trying. And we're like, and so he stops. I get out or whatever. And he whips around in the car while I'm like running back for this snake, and I get back to the spot where I think I saw it periscoping, and there was like, I don't know, a good easement off the highway, and then there was a berm that went up like about 10 feet, and there were trees all along this berm, and I look over there because I thought I was in the right spot, so I look over to the berm, and I see this black racer jetting up towards it. And I just start running up in there, and I try to catch him, and I reach for him, and he shoots up a tree, but he's not like going up the trunk, he's the trees are on the bank, and the branches are all hanging over the edge of the berm, and he's trying to go up that foliage as best as he can, and me and him kept like doing circles. I would like jump and try and grab him, and he would like drop to the ground and go back up the berm and try and go up, and we kept doing that. And then Chaz ended up being able to park the car, and there was like little saplings and stuff, and Chaz was on one side and I was on the other, and the black rat snake or the black racer was all in between all that, and then finally Chaz was able to get his hands on him. But it was insanity, dude. It was chaos, and it was like I think it's a typical behavior though, because a lot of times black racers still try and shoot up the foliage and try and get away.
Oh yeah.
But that was a real fun catch.
Definitely seen them in trees a lot too. They're just as much arboreal for sure.
Yeah,
they love lizards.
Yeah, definitely. Do we want to keep telling a couple of funny stories? Because I just had another one pop up.
Well, I want to show this picture that I want to tell my favorite Preston story. So this is the picture of Preston Sky. That's a great picture. It is so much darker than you realize in that picture, but the new iPhones do the long exposure shot, so it brought in a ton of light, and they stayed perfectly still, and so did I. So it made this awesome picture, dude.
That is absolutely one of my most favorite pics.
That was so
dude.
Fun.
We're cross-legged, cross-armed, freaking cross-bodied with the turtle in between us, just freaking getting after
like. There's a reason Sky's got a headlight on. Like he needed the headlamp.
It was dark out. Yeah, it was dark. That was wild.
But on that same trip, this was probably the funniest thing that's ever happened. Jack was driving. I was in the passenger seat, and there, Preston and some other boys were in the back of in the bed of Jack's truck. Freaking, we stopped for a snake. I go to get out. All of a sudden, Preston's flying out of the truck, and there's goldfish just everywhere. He was eating goldfish, and he comes flying out of his trunk, and goldfish are like hitting me in the face. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Preston hits the ground. Goldfish are all over the place, and he runs up to catch the snake. I was like, dude, it was not that big of a deal. Oh my god!
Don't give that man an inch; he will run a mile, boy.
I was dying, dude.
Hey, Jack, you never drive slow. Don't even try to chime
Jack
in.
Jack.
That was like 60-mile-an-hour herping right there.
Yeah, boy. I
The
told
problem
Jack.
was you guys came to a stop and all the inertia just launched Preston into the air with this fucking goldfish.
Dude, it was wild. And,
I had the basics around your door though, because when you open that bitch up,
oh yeah, you had to like fly around it, because dude, it wasn't like he hopped out of the truck, like he jumped out of this truck. Like it was crazy.
And the goldfish went everywhere because I think I had it closed, and when I had it closed, I squeezed it really hard, and it exploded the bottom of the bag.
The goldfish is raining down, dude.
I would have liked to see that shit on, like, you know, what are those like Marvel movies with the raccoon and shit, and they do like the slow motion.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, dude. Oh my god, it would have been hilarious to see that thing slow down. And
dude, that was
Preston flying through the air with goldfish.
I didn't know what was happening. All I saw was goldfish. I could still see Preston's face of like just like flying out of the back of the truck. I was like, holy shit. But yeah, after that, I told Jack this weekend, I was like, well, you know, I'm driving. Like I'm driving all weekend. Like you're not. And the last night he was like, dude, if you want, because I'd been driving, dude, I drove all over the place in my truck this weekend. And Jack was like, if you want to save gas, we can take my truck. He's like, you can drive. And I was like, no. Like, for one, I'm not driving your expensive truck. For two, you're not driving.
But bro, Jack's got all the lights. You should have at least took him up on the offer and used all of his pods and shit.
Nah, dude. The way, so I drive a Frontier now, and on Frontiers, the brakes are real soft. And so anytime I have sensitive brakes now, I about throw people through the freaking windshield. So I was like, if I get in his truck, I'm going to brake check the fuck out of everybody. So.
Tacomas are literally so touchy, bro.
Yeah, dude. I was like, nope.
Yeah,
not doing that. Somebody's going to get whiplash.
I feel you.
But yeah, that was a good time. Smitty popped in, so let's get a cameo from Smitty real quick. See what he's doing.
What a beautiful man!
What a stoic bitch.
Just chilling, man.
He's just chilling,
like fucking Darth Vader, bro. Let me watch my minions as I smoke my nightcap.
I'm just sitting back here listening. I wasn't.
Well, I didn't know why you popped in. I didn't know if you had something to say. I was like, okay.
No, I'm finishing this cigar, and so I was just listening.
Good. Well,
you look like you have so much beard right now. Like it's blending into your shirt, and it just looks so massive for some reason.
He always has all the beard. Smitty wouldn't help me with my audio because he was recording.
I texted you and said restart Chrome.
I restarted everything, my boy. Literally everything, and it still can't do it. So
ridiculous.
Did you tell him how I almost died?
Oh yeah, Smitty. Smitty. I told him about the shorts thing. You didn't learn from your shorts.
I never learned.
Smitty.
It's more breezy without pants. Shorts.
Yeah,
but my shins are still all torn up.
Balls get so hot.
Dude, but Smitty's didn't bring enough water, didn't bring no snack for his diabetes ass. And Smitty was about to die at the end of this hike. And he texted me yesterday. He was like, dude, like, when y'all stopped at the flip site, he's like, I stayed in the truck because I was about to pass out. And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, my blood sugar was so low. He's like, I had to sit there and like just chill because I was about to pass out. I was like, brother, you need to say something next time because good God.
You guys come back to the truck, Smitty's just dead in the front seat.
I did actually fall asleep while they were out walking. I took
like the worst thing to do when your blood sugar's low. Oh, I'm gonna take a fucking nap.
I also felt like even more from that. Good.
Like we were walking, right, and there was that giant like empty hole in the ground of where we were, and I was like standing at the top of that while y'all were walking around. And I was like, I felt my knees almost buckle a little bit.
Oh shit!
And I was like, okay, I'm gonna start walking back to the car. I was like, I don't want to be a bitch. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna suffer silently.
And it was bad because I felt even worse after he told me, because we went to a different spot to go flip some stuff I knew where it was, and Smitty stayed in the truck. And I told his ass, I was like, we're not back in 20 minutes. You turn this fucker off. I ain't wasting no gas. Come to find out, he's about to freaking die in there. So that was...
You guys are at the last spot he's talking about, and Jake just looks over and you just see Smitty fucking knees buckle, fucking collapse. What the Smitty?
Nobody's catching me on my way down. Just let me fall.
Dude, that's the thing, dude. You'd have stayed in them woods, brother. I'd have been like, call the police, because we ain't dragging his ass out.
If you guys find a fucking log and hog time to it to carry him out, like the fucking...
Yeah, I was like, how's that gonna work? I was like, is someone gonna grab my legs and then someone will each grab an arm and like carry me out? Because I don't think that's happening. And then I was like, I guess they'll just drag me. I don't know. Like I was thinking about the logistics.
Put a winch on your truck.
But instead of dragging you by your upper body, they drag you by your legs and your back.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Get a bunch of shit on the shirt.
Preston's got a good point. I should get a winch for my truck in case that happens. I'll just winch you out to the front.
Put it right on the front.
Not that fat. Goddamn.
Just load him up on a fucking sled and winch him back to the fucking truck.
We could have made something.
It would have been like in Revenant when they just decided to leave DiCaprio to die in a hole because they couldn't carry him anymore.
You need to carry some fucking sweets.
Well, so okay, here's the problem. All right,
I told him, I said, next time I'm bringing extra water and granola bars for your fuck ass.
I repeatedly.
You need to bring a cigar and an energy drink.
Oh, I already had a cigar. He had 2 energy drinks before we even hit the freaking woods.
I was energized.
I had energy. I just didn't have nutrition.
Why you're about to pass out? I only drank 2 energy drinks.
It had nothing to do with that. I had a bottle of water before we went out and stuff, like a big one. You just realize that you sweat all that out and you have to replenish it.
Brother, I drank like 5 or 6 bottles of water and I still had a kidney stone. Moving.
Yeah, you drink 5 or 6 bottles of water over here and you got a bloody bladder and freaking
get him a safe word. He's like, pineapple support.
Oh my god. It's just like a sack of fucking bricks hitting the fucking pineapple sauce. God damn it.
Oh my
god.
God.
What the fuck, bro?
I can't.
Smitty, you did this shit to yourself. A year ago, you told all of us you're pre-diabetic. You went 1 week without Monsters and then said, fuck this life. I'm on it, boys. Like, fuck it.
The Monsters have nothing to do with it because the Monsters are the 0 sugar, 0 calorie.
0 sugar.
It's got the caffeine. That's all that matters.
Hypothetically speaking.
But I don't know. I guess the lesson repeats as necessary because every trip I go on, whether it was Texas, Francis Marion, this one, I'm just like, I'm not going to need a backpack with water and snacks. I'm not going to need pants.
Dude,
I'll be fine.
Smitty, what was the first thing I said to you when you pulled up at my house that morning?
Why are you wearing shorts?
Very first thing I saw him, I said, brother. He said, these boots are ankle high. They're fine. They'll help me.
Yeah, they went up to my cankles. It's fine.
Hunter said, the monsters stop the voices.
Exactly.
They're my only vice. Fuck. Leave me be.
So obviously, next time I'm gonna wear pants. I'm gonna have a backpack, and I'm gonna have stuff in it. So
do you not listen? We're 16 episodes deep. Have you not learned a fucking thing from everything we've talked about on this show?
The one thing everybody has said on a hike is plenty of water and pants. Like those are like
you would think I would have learned that by now just by hiking. But in my defense, especially for like West Texas, I was not informed of the duration and mileage of said hike. So I was like, oh, we're just
Brother,
I thought it was like
it's West Texas.
I thought it was like the previous hikes that we had done the day before, where it was like, okay, we go and walk around for an hour or two and then go back to the car, no big deal. So I was like, okay, lost mine. It's gonna be the same thing. And then I get there and I was like, where are we going? And they point to like the top of the freaking mountain. Like, we're going up there. And I was like, fuck. And of course,
Dude,
everyone's got gallons of water, and I'm like, what do y'all got all this water for?
Smitty, dude, have you not watched Bear Grylls? You at least got 3 cycles, bro.
Dude, you could
Drink
ask,
around your own, mate.
you could ask Guy when we went to South Florida. We went to Publix, and I bought 4 gallons of water, and it was like we were there that day and the next day, and that was it. I had 4 gallons. I was like, I'm gonna drink all this shit.
We drank all of that shit.
What it is I just assume that we're not going to be in one particular spot for like an extended period of time. Like, we're not going to be in the same spot for half the day. We're going to go walk around a certain area for 2 hours or whatever, and then usually we have to get gas or something. We'll go to a gas station, do what we need to do, and then go to another spot. So I was under the impression that that's what was going on. But then when we get out there, and I realize there's no civilization out there at all.
Yeah.
That a gas station probably isn't happening, but it's too late. And I don't want to be a fucking diva or be a bitch and be like, guys, my blood sugar's low. We got to go. I was like,
I'm just going to die out here so you can carry my carcass back to the car.
Exactly.
Oh, my God.
So you could have just drinking everybody's pee. And
I would have fucking Bear Grylls it. Found a snake skin and filled it full of piss.
I could have re-caffeinated and drank my own piss from all the Monster.
Oh, my God.
And then killed 2 birds with 1 stone.
You would have rehydrated and recaffeinated.
Dude, I had a Monster the other day, and my piss was like neon yellow. I was like,
the regular ones are bad for you.
When I drink a couple in the morning, that's usually what happens to my pee.
It was as bright as that ginger beard.
Jack also said we almost did also die on a closed road.
That almost
because
happened.
of Jake, because Jake was like looking at butterflies or some shit as we're driving by.
He does that.
I do that. No, see,
and apparently there's no proper way to tell Jake to stop other than to scream at him, fucking stop, because we were like, hey, and he just
that's not what happened. So let me tell this story. So we went to remember how I told y'all in the beginning, we went to a first WMA, it was closed, so we went to a different one 45 minutes away. So we get to this one WMA, and we go to the first entrance, and it's blocked off, and we're like, nah, like, let's not just walk in here, like, it's closed for a reason. So we go down the road looking for the other one, and we get to this section that's like, there's dirt piled up, and it says road closed. But there's this section through the dirt that people had obviously been driving through. So we all agreed this wasn't a Jake thing. Okay. Like, this wasn't just my idea.
But
so I didn't almost. So we drive through this little section that people had obviously been driving through. And on the side of the road, I saw these dark spots. And in my head, it looked, in my vision, it looked like water, and everybody else agreed. It looked like water coming up on the side of the road. So I'm driving. All of a sudden, the 3 of them simultaneously go, stop, and I slammed on brakes, and the road was collapsed. It wasn't water. The road was gone. Like, the asphalt had fallen in, and I was like, oh my God, I need to back up. So I backed up right away and turned around. And then Smitty was like, oh, I want to go look at it and see how deep it is. I said, you're not getting out of the fucking truck, dude. We're getting the fuck out of here.
I just wanted to see it.
No, dude, no.
Smitty's all standing on the edge.
Yeah. Yeah. No, dude. And that was like before we even got any herping done, dude. Yeah, that scared the shit out of me, dude. I ain't gonna lie. As soon as I saw what it was, I was like, this would have been bad.
I think you could have stayed to the left and we would have been all right.
That's where I was going, but
that's why I wanted to get out and look, because I was like, if it's just that section, I mean, I'm not a geologist or anything, but if the ground is still intact, then maybe we can just
no. I was not having it. It's like, I'm getting the fuck out of here right now. This is not happening. So that was super cool. But, yeah. anyways, Smitty, I'm going to kick you off. We're going back to Preston.
Okay.
We're going to keep talking to him. Say bye to Smitty, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Hey, Sky.
Yes, sir.
Have you noticed a difference between looking at captive berms between wild caught berms in Florida and seeing their saddle differences?
I've seen that, the color stuff, but also a lot of the shit that's in the hobby is so morph and line bred and stuff that I don't know if maybe that has an effect with what's in the hobby versus actual wild types that we have out in South Florida, or if it
Like all
is
the lines around the saddles are just more refined?
being jagged versus being more like smooth and crisp and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, not only that, but just like the contractors down there have like caught snakes in different areas of South Florida and noticed differences already in that, whether that's just variation of the species or if it's already, because I mean the berms have been out there for 40 plus years, so you gotta think some sort of natural adaptation has started with them over the generations. So is that already phenotypical difference coming, like, within the certain populations or locales in South Florida, because there is more like swampy areas with like pine forest versus more just straight lime rock, limestone, like swamp sawgrass areas. So are they slowly adapting to that and changing to that, or is it just the variation? So I don't know there, but I mean there is the labyrinth morph that you can find in the South Florida stuff. So
Really?
yeah, I don't know if it's our stuff in the hobby that it's just so line bred and morph line bred that that's why everything is different, or if it is just like a natural phenomenon that's going on.
Right on. Yeah, I was just curious if you had noticed that because I had heard something about that.
Yeah, I've seen that too. I think we talked about it too the last time we were together a little bit.
It's kind of cool.
It is trippy. It makes you, which I feel like that is such a cool, like, regardless of how shitty it is for the natural ecosystem, if that, like, if the South Florida, like where they do occur, if there ends up being phenotypical differences just in that, where they're at, that would be like a pure indicator to us, is like, okay, like it only takes this many generations for a species to start to adapt to its environment, which would make sense why yellow rats, for example, are all, or east rat snakes are all obsoleta or whatever, and they're basically the same snake, just phenotypically different as it goes through the geology difference. So maybe that has something to do with it. Is that what's going on, or is it just variation in the freaking species, man?
Is there a difference between like the wild Florida ones versus like the wild ones in their natural habitat?
I honestly, I haven't done enough comparing of like wild to wild from that area to the Florida ones, but
Yeah.
I would definitely be interested to see, because I mean they're more abundant and popular in South Florida than they are in their home range. So it's fucking, who knows?
That's wild.
It's freaking crazy. Definitely crazy.
So you guys been doing any herping? I mean, I know you have, but Sky, like,
I've been trying, dude. All the spots that we normally go, I've been going, and it's just been dead. It's just been super slow, or it's just been too hot, or I haven't had the time to hit it as hard as I want. So just been too many variables, I guess. But before Smitty popped on, and Jake told his story, the other one I wanted to tell, it's a quick one, is on one of the last times you were down, which was on one of the roads. And Preston likes to do a lot of locality projects, mainly like rat snakes and stuff, like he was talking earlier. And it was like a little over a year ago, he collected this beautiful female red rat. And we've been trying to find one from the same county in the same area for a year. And all the ones I've found have been dead, or just either haven't been the right size or the right sex. And finally we were together that night, and we were like, he was actually down helping me to move. That's when it was. And I was like, let's go hit. We had one little window that we were like, all right, let's go hurt for a little while. And then we got to get back to work basically. And we got onto the road. And as we pulled on, we were like, I literally looked at Preston. I was like, we get your red rat tonight. We're touching tips. Just joking. We get a quarter mile down the road. And it was like, we've told it before, but it was like a total freaking brain rot moment. Like, we're turning on our metal music, we're blasting the radio, and then all of a sudden, Smitty yells Preston yells out, "Snake!" And I'm just like ripping the brakes, not knowing what's going on, can't get the phone to turn off, and he hops out, and he's like, as soon as I like get everything turned off and I'm about to hop out, all I hear is him going, "We're touching tips tonight." I was like, no way. And I walk over, awesome. And sure enough, it's a beautiful little baby corn snake, or red rat, exactly what he's been wanting to find. So that was just not only was it just a freaking funny little story that happened so quick, it was just like, that was a little blessing to us after all of our like hard work and failures and shit, was trying to make that come to fruition. So that was dope.
It's a ripper too, man. It's really pretty, but the thing's fucking mean.
Did you get an official sex on them? Like, are they a pair? Like, have you probed them?
I haven't probed the little one. I think the big one's a female.
Did you pop the little one?
No.
Oh, dude, I've started doing that. If they're small enough, boy, if they're less than a year, I'm popping that fucker on the side of the road.
On site.
Like, on site, baby.
It's older than a year. Okay. But it's younger than 2. Definitely.
Yeah, it was still pretty small.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've figured out I can pop shit up to about a yearling. I know about the size, and there was one because I've been on the search for a female yellow on my road, and I found one. I was like, I don't know if I can pop this thing. It's a little big. And boy, I popped that fucker and loop, out came those 2 peens. And I was like, okay.
They come popping out pretty quick too when they pop.
Yeah. So I've gotten popping down to a science, and also I can probe really well.
I need you to come over and help me, bro. I got a bunch of Baronite I need help with.
Yeah. I don't know about the babies. I can probably pop your baby Baron.
No, I just need help popping the babies. A lot of, like I said, I got 7 runners, so I can't even handle these things without them doing body rolls and squirming. So
yeah, and plus, like, you gotta
and I'm with them. Yeah, they're super delicate, but also I'm a bitch, so I'm not good with that stuff.
And they're also rear fanged. That's what I was getting at. You don't want to get latched onto by it.
Dude, yeah, that.
Let's not do that.
I got my first experience with that. That was pretty cool.
This guy's like 12 Baronite deep, and he's like, God, oh, damn, bro, guys.
I'm feeling a little bit woozy. Fuck.
He's got one hanging from his earlobe.
Yeah, it's just
so like we did when we were kids with the Knowles.
Yeah.
Too fucking real.
Wild. Oh man.
We want to wrap it up with some closing questions, or what, we want to keep ripping a couple stories, or what's the mood?
I mean, man, Preston, what do you? This is one of my favorite questions. I like to have. I like to ask this to everybody. What's give us a story. Like, you know, I always prefer like a freaky kind of scary story if you got one, whether it was with us or by yourself. I don't think we have anything that was real weird. Do you have any like weird stories, you know, things that happen in the field that you can tell us? Like anything creepy? You know, you saw something you shouldn't have seen?
So, well, I don't think I really saw anything I shouldn't have, but I saw something that was kind of alarming.
Okay.
I was by myself, and I was hiking up this waterfall, and it was kind of chilly out. I remember I was dressed up, you know, in like some wet gear or whatever. I think it was a little cold and rainy, and I get up towards like this one section where there's like, it's not the main waterfall, but there's like another little waterfall below it, and there's like a pool there, and it's like a great spot for something to, you know, obviously get a drink from. And
is this in Florida or North Carolina?
So this is in North Carolina.
Okay.
And I look because I'm on a hike. I'm looking for snakes or whatever, and a lot of salamanders. I think at that time of the year. I think it was more towards fall, and I looked over around the edge of this pond or whatever, flipping little rocks, and then I look up and there's this dead deer there, and the deer was the whole rib cage and like gut cavity is just pulled out, and something killed it and ate part of it or whatever, and just left the rest of it. And I don't know if I scared it away. I think if you Google, there's no mountain lions in Western North Carolina, but all the locals tell me differently. So I don't really know what to believe, but I don't think a black bear would chase down a deer. And
no, like black bears eat a lot of they're mostly vegetarians.
I was about to say they eat a lot of berries and shit.
They eat
bro.
berries and shit. They're not they're predators, but they don't hunt like
they're
that.
Scavengers.
Yeah, like they don't eat a lot of they don't hunt deer.
In your area, I feel like if it's a deer, it's either a good pack of coyotes or possibly a random rogue panther or mountain lion. That's just
the one that didn't happen to me, that is always in the back of my head though, because it's something that's super real, is something that I think Sky ran across a black bear one time.
Yeah.
They both were like face to face, popping out one, it popped out of the bushes or whatever, and they're both like, "Whoa, fuck," and ran the
legit. Like legit.
And I think about that all the time, dude, because we have a lot of bear up here too, and they're no joke.
Yeah, I was because I was just walking my dogs the other day with my friend, and I was like, yeah, this is out here is where I came face to face with the black bear, and they're like, what? And I was like, yeah, because I'm out. This is where I look for snakes, and I was just walking the wood line, and next thing I know, this thing I poked the bear. And we were thankfully both as scared, but I was like, the realization of when that thing was running away and I could just hear it crushing through the forest. That was when I realized no matter what people say, oh, black bears are non-aggressive, they'll always run from you, they're not out to kill you. It's dude, if that thing ran just towards me or through me or charged me to get away, I would be fucking crushed, and I'd probably be ripped apart by its fucking claws. So, I mean, if it's tearing trees that are that big around, just matting them down as it's blowing through the forest, bro, that thing you're nothing. So that really put into a respect and perspective for me of all right, they might not be aggressive, but dude, you could get killed in an instant, in a flash, if this thing makes the wrong move or you make the wrong move. So I agree with you on that.
Plus, if there happens to be cubs nearby, it doesn't matter, dude. You're done. They ain't no. They'll just kill you and leave you. That's
yeah.
I am waiting for the day though that I'm walking on one of these trails up here and I get to come across a nice elk antler that shed off or something, when I'm out looking for snakes or something,
That'd be sick, man.
There's a lot of that stuff around too. A lot of elk around here.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn, yeah. I didn't know that. Mm-hmm. That's cool as shit, actually.
That's badass.
Yeah. Hunter Lister had a cool comment. He said, mountain lions can travel crazy distances, especially males that are being displaced. There was one we learned about in undergrad that traveled from South Dakota to Connecticut before it got run over.
Wow.
Crazy.
That's a long ways to go.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
So I'm wondering if that would be typical for them or how many square miles they typically call their home range.
Yeah, I feel like they've tracked also could have been thousands of miles, bro.
And it also could have been just that's also I'm sure habitat loss has a big thing to do with that. It lost habitat and it was fuck it, I'm gonna walk until I find more habitat that I can call home. So that's a long fucking way,
dude. There's that's in Arizona though. There's more of those South American or Mexican leopards making their way into Arizona and shit. Yeah. And it's those big cats will travel some distance, dude. That if there's nothing, they're top of the food chain. There's nothing holding them back other than humans.
Yeah.
So what's stopping that thing from just walking on and doing life? You know.
That's wild. That one went so far, though.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Jeez, that's nuts, man. Thank you, Hunter.
I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, I obviously haven't seen one, but there was one on our property when I was a kid in Florida.
Yeah,
that's one thing I never want to end up face to face with is a big cat, dude. That's nope.
Yeah. Is it a jaguar, Jack? I don't know. What did I say? Jaguar?
They're all
they're
the
a
same.
Leopard or a jag?
Panther, mountain lion, jaguar. They're the same cat. They're the same cat in different colors. Like
I think it's a jag or a leopard because whatever it is, it's got its spots, but it's coming into 1,500 miles. That's fucking wild.
That's nuts.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Jack, look up Arizona, either jaguar or leopard. See what pops up if you don't mind, because it's been more and more sightings. There's a couple of researchers that like have game cams out in the canyons and shit, and they're like, "Oh fuck, we got the leopards or the jags coming in, boy!" And there's like three or four of them, so it's not just like one animal.
And then down by you guys, down in Florida, and then people say they're around here too. We got panthers, but like here we've seen like there's always the the Black Panther by you guys, but then my mom's not one to exaggerate at all. My mom swears up and down there's a day she saw a tan big cat on our old property. She said it was big, had a long tail, and it just disappeared into the woods. And it's funny. My dad actually called DNR because obviously if some hunter tells me and I'm not going to believe him. My mom told me this and I was like, okay, I'm not going to call her a liar, but because she said, obviously we have bobcats here, obviously, but she's like, this thing had a long tail and it was way bigger than any bobcat. And so Dad called DNR, one of his buddies, and he was like, well, he's like, if I see it, do I shoot it? And he was like, well, they technically don't exist. So, yeah, you can kill something that doesn't exist. And he was like, okay, I guess. But nobody ever saw it again. And, I don't know, man. It's weird. All kinds of stories about that around in the Carolinas, though, like Black Panthers and, just mountain lions and shit. But,
I've heard about them, but I've never seen nothing like it.
Never seen nothing like it in my whole life.
I've seen me a chupacabra, but not no panther.
Me and Justin saw a chupacabra in goddamn hunt club. Yeah, boy, that sucker was white. I don't know what.
Was it Chris Montross running through the woods?
Yeah, right. That was weird though, dude. I don't know what that was. Me and Smitty were cruising hunt club. And
Skinwalker, bro.
Dude, it was real weird. It was small like an armadillo, and it moved like an armadillo. It didn't move like a possum, and it wasn't the color of a possum. This thing was like as white as these racks behind me, like just pitch freaking white, dude. And we kept shining it. I don't know if it was a cat or what, but it would move kind of like an armadillo, but it wasn't the right color.
It was a leucistic possum.
I mean, very well could have been. I was wondering if it wasn't like a skunk that was all white or something like that, but I've never seen a skunk here ever. Like, I don't know. It was weird. And then it was just gone, just disappeared into the night. Smitty was like,
same water.
Smitty was like, you need to get me the fuck out of here, dude. I was like, man, don't be a baby. And then there was a garter snake right there, so I got out for it. He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm getting the garter snake out of the road, you puss. Like,
oh my god, that's awesome.
That was funny. But, well, do we have any closing questions for P Daddy, Scott?
We either need to link up with getting up towards you to do some salamandering, or we need to plan another Florida trip soon or in the future, because the boys all need to link up again, man. We all have the best of times, and it's been too long. It'd be
cool if we did like a like a mountain salamander. You know, I don't know. I really want to get some wetsuits and go find some hellbenders.
I'm all for that.
Yeah,
I'm all for that. That's like a bucket list thing for me. Like there's like goals that I want to do, and then there's like, nah, that's a bucket list. Fucking
yeah.
Like I
Pretty
have
dope. I know of a couple potential spots, so you know, we can definitely get that done if you guys want. That'd be kind of cool.
I think us three doing that together would probably be one of the coolest memories ever, and we would just have a good time. And plus, all three of us would be in the same spot wearing wetsuits.
Shit,
I'm gonna put a sock in my bulge because it's gonna be a little cold.
Fuck you! I'm putting a Pringles can in that fucker.
I'm putting a hellbender in mine. Shit. Why is yours moving? Why does it have arms?
And then while you guys are up here, what would be badass is if we drive north a couple minutes or whatever and go to the Knoxville Zoo.
I'd be sick.
Definitely.
Yeah. I'm so down.
Dude, it's amazing.
Definitely. I've never been. I definitely would be down to do that.
They spent like $18 million in a renovation a few years ago.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Just
And
on the reptile part.
And I'm kind of on the way from Sky going to you. I'm pretty sure you got to go through South Carolina. So Sky, you can come up to me and then we'll ride out to P.
Yeah, I'm down, dude. That would be fun. That'd be a good time. Yeah. Plus, the boys need to link up.
Absolutely.
Cool,
man.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah.
Preston,
thank you, Preston, especially thank you for coming on last minute. We certainly appreciate it. This was awesome. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you. It's fun hanging out with the boys, the homies.
I feel like there's so much more we could talk about, and so many.
Oh yeah, I mean, this could go on. This could go on for another hour with stories, but we're trying to shy away from the 3-hour podcasts. So.
The 3-hour podcast.
They've been going on so long.
The 3-hour tour.
That's right.
I love that show.
So, but yeah, I appreciate you guys. You guys are
man.
Awesome.
Appreciate you. This has been episode 16 of Flippin Tin. We certainly appreciate everybody that came out and hung out for the live. We're going to get back on track. We're going every other week, so expect us back 2 weeks from today. We have 2 very, very cool episodes coming up. Like,
pretty high.
These are gonna be next level stuff. Very technical, very research oriented with actual biologists. So stay tuned for those. They're going to be really awesome. I'm not gonna give anything away, but needless to say, we probably won't be taking write-ins for the next 2 episodes, just so we have more time to talk with these individuals because this is going to be amazing. I know I'm hyping this up a lot, but these are going to be really, really cool episodes that none of you guys want to miss because these are species specific of snakes that everybody who is a herper knows and loves very, very much. So stay tuned for those. 2 weeks from now, we should have our first one. So stay tuned for that.
Real quick for the write-in portion, even if we don't, this will give you guys a little bit of time to kind of overload us again. So when we do another episode where we go over the write-ins heavy, we still have a challenge on the table, and you guys have been slacking on it.
Yeah, nobody's done the challenge.
But we haven't got any of the challenge responses in. Like, everyone hella stoked. Thank you guys for all of the write-ins. Like, obviously the episode or 2 ago, me and Jake, I keep calling you Jack. I don't know why. Me and Jake were joking about how it was overwhelming how many pictures had got sent in or whatever. But like, awesome. It was stoke. It was an overwhelming stoke. But like, if you guys could if we get one write-in of somebody successfully doing this challenge, bro, I'll feel accomplished and stoked about it. Because just seeing the stuff that Rob's been doing when he goes out herping, it lets you know that you could get a little bit more in tune with wildlife, man. So
remind everybody, the challenge is to have some type of positive interaction in the field, no matter what it may be. You know, like Rob, for example, scratched the Nerodia under the chin.
Yeah, don't go up and immediately grab it. Try to go up and just be in its presence and accept each other. Let it feel you out instead of you going and just grabbing it and then sorting it out from there. Also, get a group of your boys like we got here, like our trio here, and go make some sick ass herp memories, because we could literally sit here and talk to you guys all night about the crazy, funny, dumb shit we do when we're all together. Mostly dumb.
But it's because we got out there and we did it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I mean, the times that we don't even kill it, we say it all the time. 3 dudes, 3 best friends in the car, cracking jokes, talking shit to each other, and playing good music, and all just having a good time. Like, those are the memories that end up lasting forever, and you're like, don't want, like, you're always thinking about and stuff. So get out there, get your boys together, go do some herping, because if you're with the right homies, even if you don't find anything, you're gonna have a good time, and it's gonna be worth it. So definitely do it. Preston, we thank you. Jake, fucking brother, man. I can't. All just thinking about all the good times we've had has got me like just stoked right now. Got me ready to herp again.
We got more coming down the pipeline, y'all. So very excited, and definitely more trips to come. And with that, we will hit you with our closing remarks. And that is, look and you will see, read and you will learn, think and you will know. That is from the Rattlesnakes of the United States and Canada.
Chee-hoo.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Thank you, guys.